Punk Revolution. Now, today we're going to be reviewing My Chemical Romance's The Black Parade, a classic rock album, one of the most successful rock albums of the past 20 years, and frankly, this album means a lot to me. It means a lot to a lot of people because it's fucking good. But it means a lot to me because it was the very first album I ever listened to from start to finish, like a full length album. I was probably like 12 years old. Up to that point, you know, I loved music as a kid. Whatever songs were on the radio, what pop, hip hop, dance music, whatever it was, I loved it. But My Chemical Romance's The Black Parade opened my eyes and showed me that music can really be, it can be artistic. It could have a little bit of darkness to it, singing about death and angst rather than, you know, all the music on the radio, which is about love and dancing or whatever and happiness. My Chemical Romance showed me, no. You can put some freaking distortion on those guitars, get angsty. You can freaking make an album, a whole album that has like a cohesive artistic vision rather than individual songs that are just supposed to make you dance your ass off. You can get creative and do whatever you want with music. It opened my eyes to help me see that music is a form of art. Maybe also it might be laid some foundations for my music taste to continue wanting to pursue and explore more punk music and post-hardcore and stuff, because even though this isn't totally a punk album, I'd say it has more punk influence and metal influence than most mainstream, very successful, commercially successful albums. So with all that said, I love this album. It means a lot to me. I love My Chemical Romance's discography. So let's go ahead and review the classic My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade. Let's start by taking a look at the album cover. Check out this classic My Chemical Romance album cover. I love the font they use for their logo where it says My Chemical Romance. It just looks like some sad emo kid in middle school was like fucking depressed, so he scribbles My Chemical Romance into his notebook, and then you have the skeleton, looks like the band leader, conductor, kind of leading the march of the Black Parade, wearing that outfit, that classic outfit that, of course, the band would wear in, like, their music videos and live performances, like an evil parade marching, because we're all gonna die! You know, it's very dramatic and, you know, like, over the top with the dark, not evil, like the dark, emo, gloomy, sad, depressive themes, which is frankly awesome. I feel like we all need a little bit of that overdramatic, emo, sad, life stinks kind of music to help us get through life. And My Chemical Romance, they fucking rock their socks off. So I feel like they captured that with this album cover. A cute little skeleton who's depressed, probably marching a parade. So I'm looking through the track list here, and this album is just fucking packed with so many fucking amazing songs. Like songs that you can just take individually and like re-listen to non-stop all the time, and just dense with so many details and great lyrics and fantastic riffs and amazing vocals by Gerard Way. I guess starting with the beginning, the album opens with the track The End, which you might think is kind of a funny way to start an album. Haha, let's have the first track called The End. But it's not really, it's more than just like an ironic thing. It's really setting the theme and setting the mood for the entire album, because the title The End is referring to death, which definitely, you know, that's kind of what we're doing here, you know? Like, we got the opening, you know, beep, beep, beep sound of the ventilator. Someone's dying in the hospital. That's setting the tempo for the song, and the acoustic guitar comes in, playing along with the beep, and it's in key, and it's in the same tempo. It's very musical and interesting, and then you get the piano coming. That melody is so freaking catchy. It's just an intro that's supposed to just kind of set the scene, but it already is a freaking phenomenal track with the way that, you know, it's explosion, like, we are here to rock and roll. You know, you can just picture the smoke and the lights exploding, like, this is the fucking anthem of death. We're all dying. Already kind of setting the stage with the themes about death and the interesting and complex production and instrumentation with the acoustic guitar, electric guitar, the ventilator beeping, the piano, the, you know, explosions and stuff. It's got like lots of shit going on. It has the dynamics that is just so classic My Chemical Romance. I mean, starting with acoustic guitar and piano, gentle melody that sounds very like, sing-along fairy tale kind of thing, and then exploding with these guitar riffs that are just so fucking heavy, and it sounds great. And that's what My Chemical Romance they're just geniuses at, is making those choruses explode, and just, you're never gonna forget them. And then this song transitions perfectly into the song Dead, which got spit there. Dead, it just kind of, you know, takes that kind of, you know, that build up and that, you know, dynamics and just kind of speeds it up a bit, you know, the guitar work through this whole fucking album is phenomenal, just shredding nonstop. It's amazing they managed to, like, all these songs are so dense, like I said. They're using heavy as fuck guitar tones, the drums are fucking loud as fuck, the guitars are just like constantly shredding and they're playing really fast and like really kind of complex, and then somehow on top of that you got Gerard Way like singing like, he's like by far like the star of the show. He's just like just so, you know, he's amazing, one of the best vocalists I've ever heard. Both with his ability to project and just keep it so clean, and his range, singing these high notes, and then having so much emotion and this like unforgettable intonation where it's like real pop punk, kind of saying the words kind of weird and wrong. It's like the definition of music that has like pretty fun music, like the music, if you just like take the vocals and lyrics out, you just listen to the instrumentation. It's kind of fun, but then and even the melodies are real like sing-along fun, but then you listen to the lyrics, it's all about how life sucks and we're all gonna die. Life is a joke. You know, that's kind of the vibe, and I think that contrast is so appealing because it's like, it's kind of like existential, like life doesn't matter, and life stinks, and everyone's gonna die, and everyone you love is gonna die. But let's have some fun with some rock and roll. It's like, it's awesome. It's exactly what you need when you're a little kid who's been just fed pop music their whole life, even though you're not a happy kid all the time. And then you got Gerard Way, he's a better fucking singer than any pop star, telling you the truth. The first 5 tracks on this album are just fucking perfect. I mean, listen to This Is How I Disappear, another fast track. Listen to how those guitars just fucking like, you know, fucking just picking so fast and it's so heavy that fucking it's like real fucking rock and roll. And Gerard Way is it's just like that song is just going a million miles per hour, just with lots of complex instrumentation. Then we got The Sharpest Lives, which is so fucking catchy, and there's a fucking female orgasm in there. Like, you're a fucking kid listening to this album for the first time. It's going like this fucking epic rock opera with insane dynamics, insane guitar riffs, insane vocals, insane emotion, death, and angst, and then there's a fucking female orgasm in the middle of the fucking song, The Sharpest Lives, and it's like, what the fuck was that? That was awesome! It's got a little bit of a female orgasm. I didn't even know that was real! And then, of course, after that, we've got Welcome to the Black Parade, which is like the best song on the whole fucking album. It's the fucking title track. It's the fucking pew, 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 pew. When I was a young boy, my father took me into the bathroom to pee and wash my hands. It's a little parody I made up. The way that song evolves from that piano build-up with the marching drums to the fucking just like, it's like very linear. You know, it's very linear and pretty experimental and just objectively like a fucking brilliantly composed song, and that fucking the melodies and the harmonies and the vocals. Da 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 da. Well, carry on. You know what I mean? That shit fucking rocks. After that, we have the song I Don't Love You. And to be frank, this is kind of one of my main issues I have with this album is every song here is fucking just amazing individually, but like I do feel like the flow of the album does kind of catch me off guard a bit. Like I Don't Love You, not my favorite song. I know it's a very popular, successful, commercially successful song by them, and I'm sure it's helped them reach a wider audience of people who aren't so much into distortion and want slower, more emotional songs. Not my favorite. Kind of feels like a really just dramatic slowdown in the album after the first 5 tracks, which are just fucking shredding the whole time. And then we have House of Wolves, which is like a bluesy kind of like metal rock song. It's very, it feels very bluesy, and that's a great song too. But then after that we got Cancer, and then this is what I'm saying, it's like, you know, first 5 songs, speed of light epicness, I Don't Love You slowed down, House of Wolves back to this bluesy rock stuff, now we got this bluesy rock, and then we got the song Cancer slows down. And you know, I Don't Love You, Cancer, good songs. It just kind of feels like what's going on with the pacing of the album? You know, you take any of these songs individually, it's great, but if you have a 51 minute, 52 minute long album that is clearly trying to have some sort of cohesive artistic vision about a parade and everyone dies and death and cancer, whatever, I don't know, it just kind of like that's the only issue I really have with this album, is the pacing does feel a little choppy towards the middle. And then we have the song Mama, which is like, I think probably my favorite song on this album, really, because it's such a creative song. It's so unique. So unique. It has this kind of like Italian sort of like opera, kind of like folky feeling, like ding 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 ding. I'm expecting some Italian man to come start singing about like fighting against fascism or something on top of it. But no, it's a lyric about how we all go to hell. Classic My Chem darkness, edginess. And then yeah. I mean, that fucking breakdown, just we all go to hell, and that sounds fucking great. And you think, and it's like you have this breakdown, and then you have a breakdown within the breakdown where it goes like it slows down and gets even heavier. Wow, what a fucking crazy song. Very linear the way it develops and builds, and like again, like linear songwriting with incredible dynamics and just so creative. It's such a weird song that just fucking rips. Then we have Sleep, fucking epic as hell song. That song feels like a fucking epic post-rock song almost. And then we have Teenagers, which is like an anthem that you'll never forget. You know what I mean? Like, these are all fucking great songs, but just kind of like listening from start to finish with this album, it just feels a little bit kind of disoriented, a little all over the place, but still all great songs. I just feel like the first 5 tracks just fucking set you up, and then you have like kind of like a collection of good songs that don't always flow so well. And then we have the song Disenchanted, which I think is the worst offender of like being like a slower paced, more emotional chill song that just really feels like confusing. Like, I'm like, what is Disenchanted doing here? I mean, it's a catchy song, but I don't know, Mama, Sleep, Teenagers, Disenchanted. Last but not least, we have Famous Last Words, which is like, are you kidding me? This album was already stacked with so many incredible songs, and then you have Famous Last Words at the end. It's like, you already have like a million amazing songs, and then you have one more song at the end, which is like maybe the best song on the whole album. I see you lying next to me with words I thought I'd never speak, awake and unafraid, asleep or dead, and I see you lying next to me with words I thought I'd never... I mean, come on, folks, that's so fucking epic. Again, the dynamics just are just... The guitar is just so... the guitar tones are so... I love that fucking, like, thick, fat, punky metal guitar tone in this rock opera. The only other band I can think that kind of does that is like Green Day's American Idiot, but that's just like way more pop punk. There's definitely like a tinge of emo pop throughout this record and throughout My Chemical Romance's discography, but this to me is just way more like, it's just got like a real specific dark and artsy vision that is gonna make the whole family kind of, you know, like, I'd say this album accidentally introduced nihilism to like a bunch of 9-year-olds when that's something they shouldn't learn until they're like in college, and it probably fucked up everybody, but it got me into music. And I mean, every song here is just a fucking even my least favorite songs in there, even like Disenchanted and I Don't Love You, songs I don't like that much on it, I mean, they're still fucking great songs. I mean, it's just in terms of the songwriting, it's just flawless. My only complaint is just the flow of the album isn't always so perfect, especially for a 52-minute long album, but vocals, Gerard Way is one of the best vocalists ever. The guitar work here has been a huge influence on me. I love the tones, I love the complexity and the just non-stop shredding and the speed and the aggression they play and the dynamics. The drums are fucking massive. The songwriting is sometimes it's just so catchy and epic, and sometimes it's real linear and explosive. And the whole aesthetic here, even though it might seem a little bit kind of like, you know, a little bit corny with the death parade, whatever. I mean, that's what, I mean, we all need our emo, corny, dark shit to kind of groove out to, and My Chemical Romance provides it for you better than anyone else. I mean, it's a fucking classic album, so I'm gonna give this a 9.7 out of 10. It changed my fucking life, and I would definitely recommend it to any 12, 13-year-olds who who want to explore music and want to get out of the box of just listening to poopy poppy pop. Even though this is pretty poppy, if we're being honest, just how catchy the melodies are. It's an eye-opener. It shows you the truth of the darkness of the world and the artistic value of music that connects us through our angst. So yeah, I love this album, and I actually do really like the other My Chemical Romance albums, which maybe I'll review next because I'm feeling I've just been dying to review My Chemical Romance, and I was just feeling it today. So that's all I gotta say, folks. It looks like it's getting darker outside. The clouds are coming out. It's like the My Chemical Romance darkness is creeping in. 9.7 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. It helps my channel a lot. It helps my channel grow. We are almost at 5,000 subscribers, which is gonna be very epic. Punk Revolution